Hey everyone, it's me Doomlink and welcome back to Monster Hunter Online. It's weird to say welcome back because most of you guys probably haven't really seen me play this game. As I mentioned in the video that I recorded some time ago, I can't remember exactly when I did it, and to be honest I probably should have double checked that before recording this, but yeah, in the video that I recorded entitled The Imminent Death of Monster Hunter Online, I could either record this game or start recording this game shortly after having recorded that video, or a month before the game actually shuts down. As it turns out, it's closer to 2 months, but here I am. Anyway, I'm gonna go and post a quest. It should be an Estrellian. It is my next key quest, so we'll see what goes on there. I'm just going to wait for the person that I'm playing with, Makeinu, to actually ready up, and then at that point we can go ahead and hunt the monster. I've never fought an Estrellian before, and yeah, could be terrible, could be great, I don't know. Because I'm only using one specific weapon right now, and I hardly know what the hell I'm doing in this game, to be honest, but whatever works. I feel a little bit lost whenever I play it. But regardless, hopefully Makeinu is ready to hunt, because we're actually going to be departing on the quest within the next 20 seconds, regardless of whether he's ready or not, so yeah, I don't think there's anything he has to do specifically, but yeah. The reason why I didn't tell him that we're hunting Estrellian is because he always uses the same weapon anyway, so right, he's ready. So let's get going. Now the first question that you might have as to the recording that I've got here is why it's not in the Hunting with Purpose series if I'm doing key quests and stuff. Well, first and foremost, the Hunting with Purpose series is something that I'd like to be a live stream series, and having said that, why am I not live streaming this? Well, I couldn't really be bothered setting it up to start with, and second of all, I'm not feeling too terribly presentable today, so yeah, you're getting audio only from me. Why don't you do an audio only live stream, Doomlink? Well, I'm not entirely interested in doing that, you'll have to forgive me. Part of the entertainment of a live stream, for me at least, is being on camera, but regardless, I'm going to go and choose, I believe, Yakitori Waterfowl String. And yeah, we now have health at 50 and some stamina, something or other, I really don't know. But anyway, I may as well take some of the stuff in here. I will be removing the heads-up display for most of the hunt, and because I don't really know where I'm going anyway, I'm just going to follow Makeinu, and at that point I don't really need the maps, so yeah, performance is better when I don't have the heads-up display up for reasons that relate to Java, I think, but yeah, it's quite ridiculous. This game is generally quite ridiculous, I have to say, so. One issue is that my vertical axis is just a mess, and it's too sensitive, whereas my horizontal is perfectly fine. So I have to make small adjustments with my vertical and normal adjustments with my horizontal, so yeah, anyway. As you can see, one big thing about Monster Hunter Online is how amazing it looks. It looks really, really good. It's just everything else is a bit of a mess. So Estrellian looks like very much a Kushala, Teostra, Elatrion, etc. sort of monster. Looking a bit more like Teostra, I suppose, given the colour scheme. You'll have to forgive performance issues in general. The game, for whatever reason, is not running entirely smoothly for me at the moment, and I would honestly blame the game, not myself, but as in my system. That's not necessarily my fault, but anyway. Unless I choose to attach my own responsibility to my PC, but regardless. Seems like it looks like a Raviente slash Kushala. If Kushala and Raviente had a child, this would be it, Estrellian. Or maybe it would be more accurate to say Teostra and Raviente? I don't know, I'm not really seeing anything going on here that would resemble Teostra apart from the colour and the body type. But then again, it has no wings. Okay, look, it just has that body type, no wings, doesn't seem to be charging around, so I guess it's not that similar to either Teostra or Kushala. Oh, here we go. This is a different stage to the fight, as you can see. Possibly a rage mode, I don't know. I would guess that it links to enraged, much like it works with Zynoga. But yeah, this is looking like a pretty cool frickin' hunt. And again, I would definitely draw comparisons to Raviente. It's just really got that sort of a look, and also doesn't have wings. But of course, very different to Raviente in the overall body type. because Rabiente has no arms or legs, it's just a big sort of serpentine dragon. At least I think so. I don't believe that Rabiente has any arms or legs. I'm pretty positive that he doesn't. But anyway, it's just generally better for me to not have the heads-up display present here for performance reasons, but I will mention that when I do play Monster Hunter generally, I will have the heads-up display present. I'm not necessarily for the cinematic Monster Hunter experience. I'm just going to double check my health, it's okay. Some of you guys might also prefer to see what's going on with my health and stamina as I play, and I'm very much the same, but again, performance is kind of important. I will go and heal now. I'll start off with using first aid meds. Makainu is very, very much the support type, so he may just heal me regardless. I would like to be able to heal myself because, you know, I like to be able to play the game in that way. He's already carrying me in a big way, I have to say, but, yeah. Regardless, there are definitely aspects to this game that I enjoy, and aspects that I don't so much enjoy. For the most part, I'm kind of confused whenever I do play it, and that's, I guess, a big thing. But, whenever I'm not confused and just enjoying the hunting experience, it's alright. Just, it would be a lot more enjoyable if I had other weapons to use, you know, because I've been using this same lance for the vast majority of my Monster Hunter Online play, and that is indeed getting to be a little bit boring, so... If it's not boring for you guys, which I would suggest it's close to being already, it's definitely boring for me, in a big way. So, I think I said it was boring in a big way before anyway, so... Apparently I can't think of other ways to describe my displeasure at using the lance constantly, but yeah. As far as I can tell, this is not in any way a complicated fight. I would suggest that fights like Teostra and Kushala actually have a slightly higher level of difficulty to them, because there's more going on. This guy just seems to walk around, does an occasional tail swipe, and yeah, I don't really know what the hell this guy is supposed to be doing. He's very pretty, I can't deny that, but yeah, may as well aim for the head. I think the head might be, well, I've got no idea whether the head would be broken or not. It seems that it's not, so yeah. I'm guessing those weird, they're almost feeler-like things. It's strange also, by the way, that I have not yet paralyzed this guy, because this is a paralysis lance. So he must have some pretty good paralysis resistance. And that is a dead Estrellian, right there. And as you can see, things like quest complete disappear when you have the heads-up display removed. You can see that everything sort of has to catch up. That's one issue with having the heads-up display removed as well. One interesting thing about this game as well is the fact that when you do carve, you don't actually need to hold down the button. It's a level of carving that surpasses even that of Generations and Generations Ultimate, and I suppose another game that is existing on the other consoles, where you actually hold down the button. It's gone beyond that. You only have to press the button once, and then you just auto-carve the whole time. Whether it's 3 carves, 5 carves, whatever, it'll carve all of it. And it's kind of crazy. Maybe the next step is to just walk up to the monster and you'll automatically carve at that point. I don't know. Of course, one thing that you can do is finish the quest whenever you want. You can see Makainu just disappeared there. That's because he went and completed the quest whenever he wanted. I did not do that because I'm still remembering how to play this game, I suppose. But that is our first Estrellian. That was a silver crown, apparently. Seemed like a pretty reasonable size. You can see that we've got, what do we have? Brute Bone Plus, Monster Bone Plus. The unique items are Estrellian Breastplate, we've got an Estrellian Horn, and a Feathered Butterfly Wing. What? Anyway, to start with, it's not a butterfly. I mean, nothing about that hunt made me think I was fighting a butterfly, but as well as that, he didn't have any wings, so yeah. I'm guessing they're just lacking the terminology needed to describe whatever that item is in the English patch, but that's fine. I'd rather be able to read something as opposed to nothing. Because of course I would have no hope in understanding what the hell's going on if it were all in Chinese, you know. But anyway, and of course for those who don't realise or are not aware, yes, it is a Chinese game. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next hunt, whatever that might be. Alright, so our next key quest is Uragaan. Now, it was a pretty good thing that I decided to cut until we were ready to do the next hunt, because apparently Makainu did need to prepare for something, and I still don't know what, because he always uses the same weapon. Unless there's some sort of weapon transmog that exists in the game, but anyway. I've got no idea. Regardless, it'll be interesting to see how Uragaan has changed in this game, if at all. Because generally I can't really remember if any of the monsters that I fought previously that have existed in other games have changed at all. I really don't remember. I don't retain much information from this game, to be honest. But regardless, what was I going to say? Yeah, this is the first time I've actually fought Uragaan, so it'll be interesting regardless. And it'll be interesting for you guys as well, because, of course, most of you are probably familiar with Uragaan, so yeah, it'll just be a familiar monster for us to fight. And there are a lot of monsters that are unfamiliar, that is for sure. This is a pretty cool looking volcanic area. I have to say that one of my least favourite volcanic areas is the Volcanic Hollow from 4 Ultimate, which was also in the other 4th gen games. I'm just so damn sick of that location. So it's really refreshing to go to a very picturesque sort of volcanic region like this. As you can see, my connection to Makinu isn't amazing, and he's got a foxtail. I mean, no comment. Seriously, this game is so strange when it comes to the different things that you can equip to your character. But you would expect that of an MMO. Got some Apsaros here. And we saw some Mosswain in the area before. I just want to sort of show you guys what's going on, and it works pretty well to use no HUD, just to show you guys the beauty of this game. So I suppose if I were to have that cinematic experience in any Monster Hunter game, this would be the one. And most people agree that this game actually looks better than the newer Monster Hunter game that exists on other consoles. But, you know, in some ways it does, in some ways it doesn't, but definitely the actual area design is incredible. That's one of the big strong points of this game. And of course all the monsters look really good too. So this guy was paralyzed pretty quickly, fortunately. I think both Makenu and I are using paralysis weapons. So it's kind of crazy that the Estrellian did not get paralyzed at any point, which would suggest to me, at the very least, that he has rather high paralysis resistance. Given that we were both running paralysis. And I didn't even realize that we were both running paralysis. That's how little I know of what the hell's going on right now, but anyway. So this is a rather heavy tail swipe that Uragaan does in this game, so that's one way in which he's changed, and he seems to combo into a chin slam, which is kind of cool. But he is still Uragaan, and he is therefore still predictable, because I have fought him a number of times in other games, so yeah. It's nice to see him in an area that does him justice, of course, because there are some pretty crappy volcanic areas out there. I would say that the old volcano is kind of crap as well, but I mean, I have an appreciation for that because it does have a good mood about it. It's a very sort of foreboding, atmospheric feeling to it. Because I think mainly because of the music and how dark it is in some areas, but you know, I would say that it's still alright. The worst is of course the Volcanic Hollow. But this place looks really freaking cool, look at this. But anyway, let's put away that heads-up display. Now, of course, one thing in this game is the fact that when you do hit a monster part repeatedly, you do actually start to see, I suppose, scars appearing where you're attacking, which I think is really cool. As you can see, the actual hitbox of that chin smack, or chin slam, I shouldn't say smack, that's a terrible word to use, is actually really small. So yeah, it's worth looking at. I think the tail was just cut off, is that right? Where is it? Or not? Apparently it was just broken, which was enough to send Uragaan flying, which is very bizarre. Normally he would do that if his tail had been cut off. And by the looks of it, oh my god. Oh, never mind. I thought for a second that Makenu was using a fucking switch axe. So obviously that's just one of those weird weapon combos you can do with the hunting horn in this game. Oh, I suppose maybe I suppose because it's like a sharp edge, it didn't really look like a horn at that moment. I don't know. I've got no idea. I was doing a warm-up quest just to see how the recording was going, and I fought this fucking Congalala that I swear to God had a Teostra's head. It was ridiculous. So it was a fire-based Congalala, and it's just so silly, but anyway. It's like they were running out of ideas or something. I think I have whetstones? Yeah, I have 2 whetstones, but I'd rather use mini whetstones. Apparently I didn't get any out of the box, so that's my fault, I suppose. Let's go sharpen up 2 blue, because that's obviously a lot better than yellow, which we're currently at. Oh god, he's repositioning. Oh, what the fuck was that? That's crazy. What the fuck? I mean, what kind of attack was that? He thinks he's a Zenogre or something. Just because you... I don't know, I was going to say something clever, but then I realized that it wasn't very clever. So therefore I wasn't going to say something clever. There you go. So I really should have gone and picked up some first aid meds and whatever else. Oh god, he's doing it again. That's so silly. I'm sorry, that's just really silly to see a big lumbering Uragaan jump into the air backwards and do a body slam. I mean, what were they thinking? It's nice to give him some new attacks, but at least have them be suitable to his, I guess, body type and monster type. I mean, he's a freaking brute wyvern. I mean, that was one of the interesting things about Deviljho when he first came out, because he was a brute wyvern that sort of, I guess, defied the laws of brute wyverns in that they were rather slow. I mean, Deviljho was very fast and almost athletic in some respects, but not like that. I mean, that's just silly. But regardless, of course, the way in which I mean Deviljho was athletic was through his sort of sweeping maneuver where he goes from side to side while moving forwards and swinging his whole body around. You know, that was pretty intimidating back when Tri first came out, you know. But regardless, that is a capture. So there will be no carving. So we will finish immediately. This weird frickin' symbol, I don't know what the hell that's supposed to symbolize. I don't know if it's... I really don't know. Just when I think that I know what it is, I realize, well, no, it couldn't be that. That makes no sense. But anyway. So what have we got? We've got Uragaan Heat Resistant Scale, which is a really long-winded name for that. Uragaan Claw, Uragaan Shell, Uragaan Scale, and it goes on. We've got an Uragaan Gem, apparently, which is pretty cool. We've got Uragaan Crystals, 2 of them. It's kind of strange. It's got the same symbol as the Armor Sphere, apparently. So what have we got? 3 well-done steaks for that hunt. That was lovely. Whoa, what the fuck? I'm assuming you guys saw that. We were floating in the middle of the sky, which is kind of amazing, yet not amazing. But anyway, not amazing in the sense that I see no benefit in floating through the sky when I'm trying to play Monster Hunter, but anyway. Makino says he got a rare 10. I'm not going to say, oh, well, I got a Uragaan Ruby, or a gem as they call it in this game, because that was only rarity 7, so it's like, oh, you got rarity 10? Well, I got rarity 7. Yeah. But anyway. So because it was capture, we didn't actually get anything in our inventory here, so there you go. I don't know if there's a way to send directly to box or not. Maybe it sends to box if it fills up your inventory. I mean, what are we playing, fucking first gen? But anyway. So the next quest that we're actually going to be doing is Rathalos and Uragaan together, which isn't too exciting, but I guess I'll subject you guys to it. Because, you know, you've been waiting for me to play this frickin' game, and now you're gonna get it. Me playing this game with the same fucking weapon the whole time. Yay. Anyway, I'll see you guys once we are hunting a Rathalos and Uragaan.